This is the plaintiff, Tina Rudman. She says the defendant, a groomer, carelessly cut her dog so deeply she had to bring him to the vet to get stitched up. When she called the defendant to complain, the rude woman tried to blame it on her. Huh? This woman needs to be taught a lesson on how to deal with a customer and how to groom a darn dog. She's suing for $1,200 for vet bills and punitive damages. This is the defendant, Erin. She says the plaintiff brought her dog into her shop in terrible condition. His fur was all matted, and she did an excellent job grooming him. The plaintiff picked him up, and everything was fine until 4 days later when she complained she had cut him. The woman was saying all these horrible, dramatic things about her dog's injuries, and it was quite obvious she was exaggerating. She can't believe the plaintiff's now trying to blame her for something she didn't do. She refuses to be railroaded by anyone. She's accused of cutting it a little too close. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,020 for missed work.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Tina Rudman, you are suing, let's see, the owner of the grooming place. You've asked us not to mention the name of the grooming place. Your name is Erin. You only want your first name?
Yes, please.
All right, you were suing Erin for $1,200. Part of it, veterinary bills that you incurred that you say are her fault, and the rest of it, punitive damages. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,020 for loss of work and having to come and answer to this lawsuit today. Tell me what happened.
On August 28th, 2013, I took my dog to the groomer, and we had came back, and me and my daughter went together. So they told us come back in a while. I've been using this groomer for about almost a year and a half already, and my dog
How often do you take your dog to get groomed?
Maybe every 6 months when I really can afford it.
And the dog is a?
Maltese.
And how often should they be groomed?
Every 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay, go on.
Okay, when I do bring the dog in to be groomed, the dogs usually are matted. I've never had a problem before. It is in her policy that they do deal with matted dogs, okay? So what happened was we came back.
Now, what does matted mean?
Like knotty.
Where the hair has grown
Well,
so long and been neglected that it, well, and that happens pretty fast, right? On that breed, in a Maltese, okay. Where it starts to get knotted up. All
It
right.
gets knotted up more towards the body.
So you don't, what do you do in that case? You shave the dog?
Yes.
Completely?
It's much more kind to the animal to do that, shave it.
Right, rather than try to
yeah, it hurts.
untangle all that. Oh my gosh, all over your body, can you imagine?
Yeah.
All right, so go on.
Okay, and she has done the dogs before, being matted like that. It's not the first time.
Well, and she saw the dog and didn't reject the dog. She took the dog.
Right.
in.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So me and my daughter went back to pick up the dog. They said the dog wasn't ready. And what happened was they said, one or two of the clippers had stopped working while they were working on the dog. I says, okay, fine. So we came back a little while
Who
later.
actually did the dog?
I did.
Okay, and did you tell her that had some of the clippers?
My receptionist, Tina, told her what happened earlier in the day. We have clipper vacs that sucks the hair off the dog as we clipper it. It's cleanliness and other reasons. And one of those had broken earlier in the day. We normally have 3.
Just the vacuum?
Yeah. So we
Not the clippers?
Correct.
According
but
to
it's
you-
attached to the clipper
Oh.
attachment, so we can't use that clipper anymore.
Okay, so go ahead.
So then we came back, we picked up the dog.
You pick up the dog and you don't notice anything wrong with the dog?
No.
The dog's not crying or anything else?
No, we just
When
usually-
do you first notice that the dog has cuts?
What happens when I went home, I put him on the couch, and usually he's very vibrant. He's running around all over the place, and he's just like sitting there.
Well, yeah, because there's no dignity in having your entire body shaved, you know, against your will without being asked. Did you ask the dog? All right, so the dog is sitting there, and the dog is lethargic. And
He's just not acting right, so I just happened to pick him up, and that's when I saw there was a cut here. I was like, oh my God.
What's here?
On his right groin area, on his hind leg.
Okay.
Okay, and then he had like a razor cut underneath his scrotum area.
Okay.
So what happened was, it was late already. I says, let me try.
Called the vet.
I didn't call the vet. I says, let me work with this with Neosporin. I figured it was a little cut, no big deal. And I waited a couple of days. It just kept getting worse and worse and worse.
You didn't call the vet the next day?
No.
All right, go on.
Okay, I took him to the vet that Saturday.
And you had picked the dog up when? When had the dog been groomed?
The dog was groomed on August 28th, and he went to the vet.
You have to know this. You have to have thought about this. You know I'm going to ask you this.
I know, I just don't
How
remember
many
the
days
date.
did you wait to take the dog to the vet? Just answer me. You know
a
the
few
answer.
days. I
What's
waited
a few days? I mean, you think I'm just going to stop at that? Give me the answer.
I would believe it would be 2 days, 2 to 3 days.
Give me the vet bills.
Okay.
What is the date that the dog was groomed?
August 28th.
So you took the dog 1, 2, 3 days later to the vet. So you take the dog, and what does the vet do?
He had to put the dog out. He had to clean up the infection part, and then he had staples
Scoop
him.
it out. That's considered the surgery.
Right.
And then suture it.
Yes, he used
Did
staples.
He used staples.
Yes, I have pictures, and I have exactly what the vet did.
And that bill was how much?
That bill was about $264, $265.
It's very reasonable. All right. So when do you call her and tell her, hey, I have a $265 vet bill?
I went actually down to the office that Saturday when he was having
What
a surgery to her grooming store. She wasn't there. I believe her mom was there. I gave her the bill from the vet. And
The same day as the surgery?
Yes.
Okay. Is your mom here?
No.
Okay. So go on.
And she says, don't worry. She goes, we'll pay for it, that, this, and that. I says, okay, fine, not a problem. I says, I just want to give it to you. I said, the dog got hurt.
Okay. Then you ended up having to take the dog back to an emergency room.
Yes.
Why was that?
The staples had gotten infected,
Uh-huh.
so I had to bring him back at night to Rocky Hill to have the staples removed.
All right. So you're out $528.15 on the vet bills, and then you're suing for $671.85 in punitive damages. How did you come up with that figure?
I just figured just for aggravation with the dog, I didn't know what was going to be with him.
Right, but you don't think she deliberately cut your dog?
No, she
Okay,
did not.
that's the situation where punitive damages are involved. Otherwise, it's negligence, and it means that it was an accident. All right, talk to me and tell me what happened when you groomed the dog.
I've groomed this dog several times before, both her dogs, and they've come in, unfortunately, in negligent matted coats. I've been grooming for 10 years, and I would know if I had cut a dog, and I just find it hard to believe that when the dog comes in and I groom it myself, it's a small white dog, you can see everything. And I don't believe that I cut the dog because of that.
Why didn't you call her right away when you noticed the wounds on the dog? 'Cause according to you, you noticed it the same day,
Yes.
and then you treated it yourself. Why did you wait until the surgery to call her and say, hey, what the heck, you cut my dog?
I was really more worried about the dog and worried about them calling her.
So, do you think that this plaintiff has enough evidence to prove the groomer did it?
Yes,
Why?
because the curse weren't there before they went to the groomer, then the groomer had to have done it.
The groomer's kind of saying, well, I wasn't necessarily the one who did it. It could have been there before.
I think if the groomer would have seen the cuts before and reported it, then they wouldn't have been responsible.
I think that's a good point. You're going to get the last word.
Well, the cuts should have been there if right after it should have been noticeable. And so I think that there needs to be more evidence.
So you think that the person should have noticed it immediately?
Yes, if it's that deep.
Interesting. Going inside the courtroom.
We have pictures of the wounds, and according to vet number 1, he says it's a clipper cut. He actually calls it that. She didn't show you the vet conclusion that he felt like it did?
I spoke with the vet on the phone, and I had asked him for a statement, but unfortunately he said he couldn't release it without written permission. So I didn't get that. However,
But what did he tell you on the phone?
He said that he thinks that it could have happened at the grooming shop, and I agree with him. Accidents can and do happen. We work on animals that are moving.
So what you did was you offered to pay half.
Yeah, after
Because you felt that there wasn't enough solid proof that it happened at the grooming shop, I guess, because she'd waited 3 days to tell you.
Right. I had asked her to come in and could I see it, because a lot of times I know the difference between a dog's when their nails are freshly cut. If once their matted coat is removed, their skin feels funny and they're itching. So maybe he had scratched it. I just wanted to see it just so I could see the proof of it and talk to the vet, and she had never brought him in so I could see him. So between those two things, I said, it's hard for me to say I've done it because this is my career, this is my
Why
profession.
didn't you bring the dog in?
Because she never did call. When I finally spoke to her, not once did she ask how the dog was doing. All I got from her was, it is your fault, and I'm not paying for it.
Well, at some point you got, I'll pay for half.
Well, that's when she said, because I was arguing on the phone with her. She goes, well, I'll pay for half. I says, no. Why should I have to pay the other half? This was not my fault.
All right, folks. This isn't a criminal case where she has to prove it beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. She testifies that she notices it on the day of. Yes, she doesn't call you until 3 days later, but the vet says that he thinks that that's what that is. And there's no other, there really is no evidence of it happening at the hands of anywhere else.
As far as we can tell.
Yeah, that's enough for me. I think it happened there. So on your counterclaim against her for, $1,000, obviously you're losing, so I'm not even going to entertain that. On her claim against you, it's certainly not punitive damages kind of case,
Okay.
but I am going to order you to pay the vet bills of $528.15. That's my verdict.
Thank you.
And so the plaintiff does collect the cost of the vet bills. What's your reaction to that?
I think it's unfortunate that the dog is neglected in such a way that he continues to be in that state, and she doesn't take any concern about it.
Mm-hmm. You, as the professional groomer, should you turn down a job like that?
No, unfortunately, what else would you do? There's not a lot of risk during the grooming. It does happen, and people should be aware of that, unfortunately. Dogs do move, and when you elevate that risk by having matted coat that we have to maneuver around, I think that's asking a lot.
All right. Just head right around the corner with Officer McIntosh there and come on out here and tell us what you think about the outcome of this case. How's Charlie?
Charlie's much better, thank you.
Really?
He's doing good.
You didn't get your punitive damages here, but you did get your vet bills.
Yeah, that's
You satisfied
fine.
on this outcome?
Yes, I am. I just feel bad that she has to lie like that. She never even cared about the dog. When I'd spoken to her and told her what happened, all she's worried about was, I'm not paying it, it's your fault. So she's really in the wrong business. And dogs do come in matted. He wasn't that bad. He was matted. He's a dog. And he's a Maltese.
Okay.
But he's cute.
Okay. Charlie's cute.
Charlie's cute.
Harvey?
So the judge was talking about the fact that this is a civil case, and the point is that in a civil case, all you have to do is tip the scale slightly, just like 51-49%, and you win. And that's going to do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.